Hi everyone. Today and tomorrow Salesforce Consulting Admin Training. Today is day 32. So let's see what are we going to learn today. So we'll quickly go through the previous session overview and we'll talk about the lightning flows use cases and we'll talk about the platform event and platform event trigger and what are the steps to create a platform event and how can we create a fields for the platform event and how can we test the platform event. And what are the custom labels? We will see the custom labels and then we'll have a conclusion, trailhead, today's interview question. So the last session, we have started the lightning flows. We have started the lightning flows and we created the record triggered flow use case and we created the schedule trigger flow use case. For the schedule trigger, we created the create new HM record. So now this record is, if I click on a debug, this is to create a hiring manager record. So on the first screen, it is going to give me the hiring manager name, location, email, designation, phone number. If I click on this, click on a next button, what will happen? The hiring manager record gets updated. Now, this flow, what we will do is on the position object, let's add this button on the position object. So while we are creating the position object, we wanted to create the hiring manager also. So on the position, I'll be creating a quick action, and that quick action is connected to the lightning flow. So click on a new action. And action type is flows. Create new HM record, that is the flow. And the label is new HR. So new HR record, click on save. Now we created a button on the position object. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to the position object. And let me go to the page layout. And we'll go to the page position layout. In the position layout, whatever the button that I have created right now, I'll add that button onto the page layout so that, okay, so quick action. We have these are the quick action. New one which we have created right now is mobile lightning quick action, new HR. Override. Let's take out all these things. Now new HR. What is it? Let me try from the layout, lightning builder. So let's go to the position. And edit object. Edit page. Let's add the lightning button, the quick action. Okay, so upgrade now, click on upgrade now. Position layout, click on finish. Okay, so I want to create a new HR. So instead of new note, let's place this here, new HR. Done. Okay, click on save. Activation. Assign as our default desktop and phone, click on next, save. So now let's go back to the position record. Now we have a button, new HR. So if we click on a new HR button, this action is calling the lightning flow. This action is calling the lightning flow. Now here on clicking on this button, on the position object, I'm in the position object. I'm in the position object. From the position object, I can create a new HR. So if I create any new HR, let's suppose new manager, and click on a location, Chennai, manage@gmail.com, designation, HR executive, phone number. Click on next. Now we are done with the creating the new HR manager. So if I go to the hiring manager, I can able to see the new manager which was created right now. New manager and manager@gmail.com, and this is the details I have given. So while we are in the different object, from there also I can create a HR manager, and I can link that new HR manager to here, which is possible. And that's what we have seen in the last session. Now today we'll see some more use cases. Let's take a use case 1. Implement a lightning flow to find the number of contacts for each banking account. That means I have a different accounts are there. We have different accounts. If I go to the account, now I see that there are 50 plus accounts are there. Okay, 40 plus accounts are there. All these accounts are having a different industry. All these accounts have a different industry. There are few accounts where it is a industry is banking. Okay, there are nothing. So let me update the industry here. Banking. Assume that 5 records which are having a banking. Five records are banking. For these accounts, for each account, how many contacts are there? For example, if I open Goodwill, we have to see in the related list how many contacts are there. Okay, for this, there is no contacts. Now come back to the different account. So if you look at from this perspective, from this account perspective, if you look at like each account, you have to dig into this and see whether there is any contact or not. So it is so time consuming it, right? So let's suppose I wanted to create a flow to identify what are the banking accounts are there. What are the banking accounts are there? These banking accounts has any contact. If there are any contact, give me the count of a contact. Give me the count of a contact. Where it should be printing it, it should be while debugging it, I need a screen which will tell this is the account name and this is the contact number. That means if I, instead of me going through the manually, let's assume that you got a task from the client saying that, can you give me the list of contact for each account? How many contacts are there? Okay. You can do it different ways, but assume that right now we are doing in the development mode. So while we are debugging the Lightning Flow, in the debugging, it should give me the account name. What is the account name and count? Just give me the count. How many contacts are there for this account? Account name and the contact. So this has to give me during the debugging. Okay, so in this scenario, in this use case, what is the correct Lightning Flow that we should be creating it? What is the correct workflow that we should be displaying it? So high level requirement, implement a Lightning Flow to find the number of contacts for each banking account. For each banking account. Now, while debugging, it should display a screen. To show the contact count. Now, what is the Lightning Flow we should go for it? There are 6 are there. Which Lightning Flow we should be going for it?
Is it screen?
Screen flow.
Yeah.
Right. So if we are creating a screen flow, the first thing, what is the first step that we need to do here? Lightning flow, screen flow. What is the first step do we need to do? Implement a Lightning Flow to find the number of contact for each banking account. What do I need first?
Circle query.
Query. So get records. Which records we have to get it?
Based on account number, contact records we need to get. Account
Let's
ID.
assume that for
contact
now,
records.
account records. First get all the account records. Now once I have all the account records, what is the next step?
Count related contacts.
Loop. Each and account ID we need to loop and we need to get the contact records.
Iterate through the each account. Now that means we have to loop through the each account. Now, while looping through the one by one, what do I need to do? Like I have looping through the iterator. Now
Increment the counter.
Query the contacts. Object based on account ID.
Select the contacts.
So for each account, we need to get
Get
the
the
count
contact.
of contact. That means in the loop, I should be incrementing the count. Increment count. Now, once I have incremented, then show into the screen. Finally, how many contacts are there for each account? This is what we have to do. Now, lightning flow is screen flow. To get all accounts, what is the element that we have to use?
Get record.
Get records. Iterating through the each account. What do we have to use it here?
For loop.
For loop.
For loop.
Loop, yeah.
Do we have a for loop or do we have a loop?
Loop.
Loop. Now, next one, increment. How can we increment it? What is the way of incrementing it?
Using a variable. An assignment.
So usually if it is a apex, what we do is I'll declare a variable. Declare a variable. And this variable, I'll keep on incrementing it. Finally, this variable is used to display the data. Now, same thing, I need to create an inflow also. Variable has to be created. And this variable, whenever incremented it, that means increment the variable, increment variable, and then assign it to the whatever the new value is there, assign it to the same variable. Now for the show screen, here I need a screen which displays the text. So that means display text of account name, comma, count. So this is what, yeah.
Ma'am, industry equal to banking, right?
Right.
We need
So
to fetch
while
that in
getting the records, we need to add a condition here. Industry equal to banking. Yes, that's right. While getting all records, we have to add a condition here. Now this is what.
Ma'am, your flow, like account should be taken as an object, right? In this flow.
Yes.
Like then why to get all accounts records? Like why use that?
How many records are there right now in the system? 43 records are there. Now, do I wanted to update all 43 accounts? My requirement says that
condition.
Banking account.
Yes.
So instead of touching all of them, only those records I wanted to update it.
Okay.
So now let's go ahead and create a lightning flow. So create a new flow. Now we are going to create a screen flow. Perfect. On starting, I do not have any screen. Directly, I'm going for the get records. For the get records, what is the element that I need to use it? Get records element. Let's say accounts list. This is the account list. Object is account. Now, do I have any condition here?
Yes, ma'am.
Account industry is banking.
Industry equal to banking. Now, sorting, should we get only one record or all the records?
All records.
All records. Now, how to store the record? Automatically store all the fields, choose a field to Choose a fields and let Salesforce do the rest of it. Choose the fields and assign the variable. I do not want to do anything. Let's go with the automatically store all the fields because we are not updating any account records right now. Done. Now, first step is completed. The first step is completed. This step is completed. Now, the second step is I need to iterate through the each account. I need to iterate through the each account. That means I need to use the loop. Now, second, I'm going to use the loop. Now here, account, let's say ACC loop. Now collection of variables, I have a accounts list. Collection of variables, accounts list. Whatever the previous get records are there, those records I wanted to iterate from first item to last item or a last item to first item. I'll go with from first item to last item. Like either it is a ascending order or a descending order. I would like to go with the ascending order. Click on done. Now, as soon as I add a loop here, it created the for each after last. For each after last. Two things it is created for loop. Now, for each, what I need is I need to increment the count. Okay, for each. The second step here, whatever the second step is there, it is done. Now we have to do the third step. Third step is incrementing the account. Incrementing the account. So before incrementing it, so what I'll do is let me add the screen. Let me add the screen. So let's add the screen here. Okay. So display names. Display names. That is the API. Now I wanted to show the text here. In order to show the text, I need to use the element called display text. Element called display text. For this display text, I wanted to use two things. One is a account name. So I'm writing here account name I wanted to display. And then count also I wanted to display. Account name, from where should I need to get it? From the loop, right? So we have a from the loop, I can get the name. That means each record account name. Right, that's my account name. From the loop, ACC loop, from the loop, I'm getting the each because this screen is added for each. This screen is added for each. The next one is a count. For the count, I do not have right now in the Salesforce, which will give me the count of the contacts. So what I need to do, I need to create a variable. I need to create a variable. So in order to create a variable in Lightning Flow, we have a something called a resource. We have a something called resource. This new resource is you can create a variable. I did not do anything. You can create a variable, you can create a formula field, you can create a text template, you can create a Salesforce pick list choice, you can create a collection choice set, a record choice set, or a pick list choice set, and the stage. These are the different ones. Last time we have seen the choice. Okay, so this time we are going to see the variable. I'm creating a variable. I'm creating a variable. So this variable name, let's give it as a count. And this data type should be, this should be number because I'm incrementing the number. Oh my shit, what happened? Okay, just give me a second. Nice. Let's create quickly, get records, account list, object account, industry equals to banking, all done. We save. Next, I'm going to add the loop. ACC loop. Collection of variables, accounts, first item to last item. Now, click on it for each, and then I'm going to add a screen. Okay, so display names. Display text. Account name. Contact count. Now, account name, I'll be getting it from the loop. Name. Contact count, we are creating the new resource. Now, resource type is a variable. Now, let's give it as a count here. And data type is number. And this data type, this one, count initially, it should start with 0. Decimal position is 0, and the starts with 0. Starts with 0. And then this is to available for input and available for output. Available for input and available for output. Right now, I'm not specifying it here. I'll explain that for next scenario. But keep that. Okay. Now we have a count is the variable here. This count is going to give me the list of contacts. List of contact for each account. For each account, it is going to give me the details. Click on done. Display name. Done. Now, we have added the screen. Next, what I'll do is I'll use the assignment. There is one option is called assignment. If you want to set variables, or if you want to assign anything, or if you wanted to do increment, or any assignment that you wanted to do, we will go for an assignment. So this assignment, what it is going to do is count increment. I'm going to do the count increment. So count increase. Now here the variable is, we have a count number, right? And keep on adding the value 1. That means what I'm doing here, this one, I'm doing the count. Wait. Okay, so I'm doing the count equal to count plus 1. This is what I'm doing it here. Count equal to count plus 1. Now click on done. Perfect. So we are done with details. Now this is what everything it is going to do. Okay. So screen flow starting, getting all the accounts, looping through the each account. For each, I'm displaying the screen, and then count is increased here. Count is increased there. Now let me debug this and see what is happening. Okay, so click on run. Now WB 0, iterable 1, iterable 2, support 3, sample account 4. That's all. Let's go to the account. So sample account. One question, am I getting the contacts anywhere?
Yeah, that's what we need to get the context, right, Swapna, in the follow.
Yeah. So where I am getting the contacts, I'm not getting any contacts here. So why it is giving, how it is giving the details?
It is just the counter variable which
It
is
is-
displaying.
We are printing number.
We are just print, I'm not even counting the account. I'm just incrementing it here. I'm just incrementing the count. I'm not doing the any contact. Click on run. Starting with 0 and then iterable 1 and second one and the third one, fourth one, fifth one. I'm just incrementing the count, not even account also I'm incrementing. For each account, I am incrementing this number. If I wanted to get all the account, all the contacts for the account, what should we do?
In for loop, we had to add get records again.
Okay,
While
so
for new account ID.
now I need to get all the contacts. Get contacts, contact. Now, what is the condition here?
Account ID, ID equal to account ID equal to account list dot ID.
Equals to,
Table account list
we are
No,
in loop
account loop dot ID.
dot ID. Now, all the records, I need all the contact records. Click on done. Now I'm getting the contacts. Now, for these many contacts, how many accounts, how many contacts are there? How you will be able to identify? Now I'm getting all the contact here. How will you able to identify?
Can I use any aggregate function count in query?
Right now here, we are getting the contacts per single account. Now you have to go through the each contact and increment the number.
Loop.
How can you do it?
Loop again.
Again, you have to add one more loop.
Swapna, is there any chance to use the aggregate function count? Select a count, start from contacts where account dot ID equal to ID.
Can you repeat that again? Your voice is breaking.
No, if we use any aggregate function, count function, is there any chance to use count aggregate function so that we can get directly count, right?
Right. So that is also there. You can use it. For that, you need to use the resource. You need to create a new resource. By using the new resource, what you can do is you can create a formula field to get the aggregate function of the contact. and then you can create it. So right now we are in just still into the how to understand what are the each elements here.
Yeah, sure, Swapna. Thank you.
So here I am in the contact loop. Now there is a multiple ways to implement this. It's not only the single way, there are multiple ways are there. If you want your flow to be very big, you can do whatever you want. Now here you need to create another count, right? Once the count is done, you need to return the count here. Once the count is, I have to increment each count. So whatever we have done here, count increment, same thing we have to do here, count increment. Once it is done, then it has to be returned back to the display screen. Now I'll go ahead and use the count. So I need assignment. Let's say contact count. Count number equals to add 1. Done. Perfect. So I'll be deleting this from here. Getting the account, looping through the contact. While looping through the contact, I'm incrementing the count. Okay, and then finally I'm resulting the count here. That is for one account. Now let me debug and see. Zero. Okay, any of the accounts has contact or not? WB iteratable support, iteratable sample. Related records, 0 for WB. Iterable 0. Sample account 0. Okay, so let me add one thing. So let's go to the contact. Wow. So let me update one of them. So here account name is let me take WB. Save. Now just refresh the WB. Now WB has only one record, that is a sample, one contact, rest all are 0. So let's go to the debugging. Let's refresh here. Run. WB count is 1. Click on next. Iteratable 1. 5. What is happening here? 6.
So now we need to reset after one record, right?
Reset it.
We are looping on like one record, we need to reset.
How can we reset? How can we reset?
After the printing
After
for one record.
After the screen.
After the screen, what we will do? We'll do assignment or we'll do any different way.
Assignment is fine, I guess.
Us. Yeah.
So after this last, after the display name, which one should we go for it? Assignment. Reset. Count. Variable count. Number equal to 0. Perfect. Now let's click on save. Now click on a debug. Click on run. WB is 1. Now iteratable batch is 0. Iteratable is taking as a 4. So we are looping to the account here. For the account, so it has taken the first account. And it is going here 001. 001 is nothing but an account ID. So which is, it is taken this one. Let's come from the starting. So get ACC loop, it has taken the first one. So we got the looping through the contact, it got the one contact here. Right, so count is 1. Next one is ended here, the loop, transaction committed, displaying the WB1. Now the reset equal to 0. Account loop, next time it is iterating through the second one, 001, this AAB. And for this, failed to find a records, end loop, perfect, transaction committed, display names. Now the next one is count is 0. Now the next one it has taken 00. The third one it has taken. When the third one is taken, get contacts, successfully found the records. What is this record? So the third one, it says that contact records are found. This is the iteratable batch related to it. And there are 4 contacts. Perfect. It is displaying the four contacts. That is correct. So which is correct? Iteratable, it is showing as a 4. Perfect. Now click on next. Support group. So support group is, there is a contact is found for the support group. This time it has taken the 4th record. So 4th record has 1 account, 1 contact. Let's check that. Let's go to the related. It has a 1 record, perfectly fine. Now click on next. Sample does not have anything. So it is printing correctly. So WB is 1 record. Next iteratable batch, 0 records. That is correct. And next one, it has a iteratable batch, 4 records are there. And next one is having a 1 record. And the next one is having a 0 records. So which is perfectly fine. So this is how in the real time, whether it is a small requirement or whether it is a huge requirement, we always debug. We always debug and see what are the records that we are doing. It is getting picked up, whether it is picking up the right record or not. So first time it picked up this first record. So based on the first record, how the get contact is coming. So we have to check the result. So this is what we will do in the real time. So whenever we implement a flows, we have to go through the each step during the debug. When the interview started, from that moment to till the transaction is committed, what all things are happened. So each step by step, we have to go through it. So by going through this, we can understand what is the next thing that I need to add it into the screen in the flow, in the lightning flow. Sometimes you see that in the real time, there is a huge flow will be there, but the person, only single person has worked on that huge flow. So he will not directly one shot, he will not implement that flow, not at all possible. He will be doing the debugging and finding it, what is the next element that I need to add it, and what is the condition that I need to add it. Do I need to cross verify? Like if it is a here, instead of a get contact, after the get contact, instead of a going through the loop, I can add a condition here. I can add a condition. So if it is a greater than 0, right? So the contact list is a greater than 0, then only go through the loop. Otherwise, end it. I can go through the different scenarios. And sometimes in the real time, what we will do is, in case if we have any problem going through these records, okay, so there is an option here. there is a option here, add a fault path. So whenever you see that during the while getting the record here, you might be seeing some issue. Whenever the record does not have a proper information, or your query is failing, get record element is failing it, or your loop is failing, or your assignment is failing, you're not able to increment it because of the previous value. Because of previous value, it is not possible, or your screen element is not good, right? So all these are whatever is happening right now, you can add the element. So error is possible only for the get records. Loop, it is not possible. It has a delete element, but fault is not available. So in this case, what I can do is, whenever I have any issue during the getting the record, instead of going further, I'll simply show a screen here. I'll simply show a screen here. Get record has a issue. Display text. I'll say that get record has a issue. Get account record has issue. So it's kind of a else condition. Whenever it is having some issue or some error, instead of failing there, you can display some information so that user will know the things. Now I can add a screen here, which is the error screen. So like this, we can implement it. This is like in real time how we will be doing it. This is how we will be doing it in the real time. Let's take the another scenario. Implement a lightning flow to create a default account and assign the account for all the contacts that does not have an account ID. That means during the flow, while executing the flow, I wanted to create a default account. There is a account name called default, or let's take it as a dummy, either one. I need to create a new account, which is a default account. And in the system, I do not have, there are few records which does not have account. So if I go to the contacts, there are most of the contact does not have an account. So for these accounts, the one which does not have an account, I'm going to link the default account record to here. I'm going to link the default one. So that means here my high level requirement is create dummy account or a default account, and then link default account to the contact that does not have account lookup. Now, in this scenario, what is the lightning flow? We will go for it.
Recorded triggered flow.
Now, okay? So here, I'm not doing anything from the UI point of view. I'm not creating from the UI point of view. Default account also I'm creating from the lightning flow. Default account record, this is also created through the lightning flow. Basically, user or a client will not be creating this account. What should be the lightning flow? all the contact that does not have a account lookup, update the account lookup to the default account.
So it should be a screen first and then create element.
Okay, that is one option, screen flow. What else we can go for it? Now, let me give another clue here. Whatever the contacts are there, because in the real-time scenario, every day you will see few contacts that are created from the third-party system where they will not be updating the account record. So are you running this lightning flow every day? Are you going to do that, running the lightning flow every day whenever you start your day? Because it's not a one-time action, because every day the contacts are created and we see that every day at least 10 accounts, 10 contact does not have an account. So which one do we go for it?
So is it scheduled?
Schedule trigger. Screen flow we have already seen. So I'm not going with that. So this scenario, I'll be implementing the schedule. Scheduled trigger. Now, screen flow, why I'm not doing it here? Because if I go for a screen flow, developer or whoever is working on the Salesforce has to click on a quick action. And in the quick action, enter the default account every time and then click on a submit. If assume that I already have a default account, next time I'll be creating the default account one, right? So here in this case, what I wanted to do is every day create a default account and link that account to all the contacts. So this scenario I'm going to do through the schedule trigger. Now we'll see how can we implement through the schedule trigger. Now, what is the first thing that I needed here in order to implement the schedule trigger for this requirement? What is the first thing that I need to do?
Need to create a default account.
Create a record.
Do I need to create a default account first, or do I need to cross verify is there any contacts are there which does not have an account? Whenever I see that it does not have an account, then only I'm going to create an account. So first thing I need to check the contact list does not have account ID. Does not have account ID. I'm going to get those records. So now I have a list of contacts which are where it says that it does not have any records, because during the scheduling itself I can specify that. During the schedule itself I can specify. Now the second one is create an account. Account name is, let's say, default. Default, I'm creating it. Or you can say any name, that should be fine. Now, once I have the list of contact, now the third one is iterate through the each account. Iterate through the each contact. Each contact. Now then update or assign the new account ID to the contact.account ID. Assignment needs to be happen. Assignment needs to be happen. That means I'm going to do the update there. Now, I think that's all. Now, contact list does not have an account ID. Okay, that I'll come to later. But here, create an account. What is the element that I need to use it?
Creators.
Create. And for the iterate, I'll be using the loop. And for this one,
Update.
I'll be using the update element. Now, let's go ahead and create new lightning flow. New lightning flow. This time we are doing the schedule trigger. Schedule trigger. Let's go for a schedule trigger flow. Click on a create. Now, schedule trigger flow has two things. Set schedule, choose object. Set schedule, choose object. Choose object is optional. Either you can choose it or not. That should be totally fine. If you do not choose the object here, you need to add the get records here. Now, so the first one is a set schedule. Set schedule is mandatory. Now click on this set schedule. It is asking me that what is the start date? From when do you want to start running this schedule trigger flow? Let's say from tomorrow night onwards. So 11, start time is 12 a.m. That means today night. Okay, 12 a.m. Let's keep it as a 12:30 a.m. Now frequency, once, only one time do you want to run, or daily or weekly? Let's assume that I wanted to run weekly. Click on done. So it is giving me the flow start Tuesday, which is tomorrow, April 11, and the start time is 12:30. It is giving me 12:30. And frequency is weekly. In case if you wanted to edit anything here, you can edit. Now click on a choose object. Choose object and filter condition. Right, so now I'm adding here contact. Click on a contact, and the condition that I have is account ID equals to null. Null is nothing but equals to not null. It should not be not null. So this is a not null global constant dot empty string. Click on done. Now, as I have added here object, so it's up to the developer whether they wanted to add a get records again here or not. So what I'll do is, as I have added here all the details with the condition, I'll not be adding the get records. In case if you do not want to mention during the schedule time, this object, if you do not want here, so what you can do is you can delete from there and you can add a get records. Either of one should be totally fine, whichever the developer feels it. So there's not an issue. Now, so here it doesn't say whether all the records or a one record, it does not say. Usually get record has the option one record or all the records. So it doesn't have any option there. So what I'll do is let me add a get records. Here also I'm adding the same contact records. Let's say all the contact records. All contact records, object contact, and field is account ID not equal to null. That means equals to not null. Empty string, then all the records I wanted to go for it. Now click on done. Sometimes it will give the warning here. What I'm doing here, contact. Update account on contact. Click on save. Now, this warning, it will come here because usually get records element in the flow. If you add this get all contact records in the flow, it will impact the performance. It will impact the performance here. At runtime, the flow starts interview. For each record, specify the start element and store the each records. So basically, whenever you add a get all records, you will see some issues there. You will see some issues. If you delete this, now if I delete this, delete, and if I try to save, it doesn't give the any warning. So the flow cannot run because nothing is connected to the start element. So that's a different issue. So once I have removed the get records, whatever that is saying the performance issues, it has been cleared. Now let's create a new record. Create record. We are creating the account record. So new account record. I want to create only one. Separate one, not automatically. So basically I wanted to assign them. So account, while creating the account, we just have a only one field which is mandatory. If I'm creating an account here, I guess name is the one mandatory, rest all are good. Let's still check. Click on new. Yeah, only account name is mandatory, nothing else. So I'll use name here. Name equal to default account. Default account. Click on done. Now let me save. Now there is no issues, right? So performance issues also it is not saving, so showing here. Everything is fine. Now what I'll do is, next step is we have created the account. Now we have to loop through the each contact. We have to loop through the each contact. Now let's add the loop here. Oh. Now let's add the loop. Contact loop. And here, I don't have a resource. Okay, I don't have a resource to loop through that. No, I need get records. Otherwise, I cannot loop through that. So let's go ahead and add get records. All contact records. Contact. Here, let's say account ID not equal to null. Click on done. Now let me add the loop. Now, contact loop. Now this time it should give me the option. It's not giving me. Okay, that should be fine. Loop. Why it is not giving me the collection records? all
Okay.
records,
Select all records.
click on save. Now let's go ahead and create it. It's okay. Click on loop. When we click on a loop, it should show now. Okay, all contacts. Now, contact loop. First item to last item. Now, what is the next step? Once we are going through the each record, what do I need to do? Next one.
Update the contact with the account.
I need
ID.
to update the contact. So that means I'm going to use directly update record here. Update contact. Use the contact $record global variable. No. Update the record related to the contact record through the trigger flow. Yes. And then I'm going to use here the contact loop. Record related to the contact. Okay, so now collection I needed loop. So I'm choosing here the third option. Third option is use the IDs and all the field values from the record or a record collection. So as I have a loop on top, so I'm using that loop, and through the loop, I'm going to update the each record. I'm going to update the each record. So the first one is if you want a global variable. And the second one is if you wanted to update the related records, like a contact has a related list of maybe opportunity, right? So what are the related list is there? So those details I wanted to update. Now, in case if you specify this, specify condition to the identified record, set the fields to be available. This is the one. Then what I'll do is I'll say contact. Contact, and then it is going to ask me the condition, filter condition. Again, I'll put the filter condition account ID equals to not null. Then I'll use the set fields account ID equal to what are the create account is there. I have created the account, which is a new account. Should be new account record. Yes, new account record. Am I confusing here? Is everybody clear on this path? So first I'm getting all the contact records, then I have created the new contact. Once the new contact, whenever I'm creating the new account here, I'm giving a only name field. I'm assigning it. I'm creating only one account. And these all details will be stored in new account record. New account record. Now then I'm looping through this contact list. So while looping through the contact list, I have given the edit element, all the contact records. So what are the contact records are there? Those all I'm looping through it. Then finally, I'm updating the contact. I'm updating the contact. So I have used the specify the condition to identify the record. Now, if I choose this third one, what is happening? It is looping through it is getting the collection records. It is getting the collection record, but that collection record is not updated the account ID. So that is not going to help me. Now, if I say specify condition to identify the records and set the field values, now I have a flexibility to set the new account ID That is whatever we are creating through the flow that can be added here. Right, so click on done. Now,
Ma'am,
yeah,
account ID should be null, right?
yes, that's what we have given here. Account ID equals to not null. This part is a filter condition. This part, whatever you see, this is the filter condition. The bottom part, whatever you see there, it's a set. What do you want it to set? Okay, it's kind of a if
If
account
account
ID not equal to null, then set account ID equal to new account.
But Swapna,
Ma'am,
do
account ID should be equal to null, right?
Which one you are saying?
Below the contact account ID equals to not null, given that.
Either
If
equal
the
to null or not.
okay.
Swapna, do
Okay,
we
okay, okay. Wait a second. So, okay, so it should be equal to null.
Im-
Let's keep this instead of a equal to, I'll say is null equal to true. If it is a null, done.
Swapna,
Yeah.
in that update contact, do we really need to give the filter contact condition? Because we are fetching only contacts where account ID is null, right? So why do we have to check it once again?
If you do not want that condition, you need to add, it's not true. You need to add a assignment. Add a assignment here. Okay, while adding the assignment, set all your field values there. And then that what are the collection of that record is there, you can directly select here. You can directly select the third one, give your assignment collection here. So if you do not want an additional condition to be verified here, so what you can do is you can use IDs or all the fields. That means before the update, you are creating another element. You are creating another element which is called as an assignment. In this assignment, all the updates you are doing it. Whatever the contact does not have an account ID, you are updating, assigning those account ID to the contact, and this assignment give a reference to the here, so that you need not to add any other condition there. Account ID is null, true, and get all contacts that has a null. Okay, account ID, look through that, updating the account ID to the contact. Okay, so let's see what is happening on this. Save. Click on debug. That's okay. Roll back. I don't want to save that. Okay, so there is some issue happened here. What is the issue happened? Failed to update a record, meet the criteria. Account ID equal to new account record.
Too many supply.
Too many SOQL queries. Okay. So same Garner limits are applied here also. Okay, so let's do one more thing. Also, I wanted to check the phone number equal to null. Okay, click on edit. Now here I'll check the all contact records along with the account ID. I'll check another condition. Phone is null. Click on done. Perfect save. That's okay. Click on debug. I wanted to roll back. Click on run. Now it is updated. Okay, so interview started. And get records. So it is getting the all the contacts that has the account ID is null and phone is null. And create a new contact. It created the new account. So account ID is this one. And it is looping through the contact. There are 3 records. So first one it has taken. And the first one, account ID, it is updating. All records are neat. Find the second record. Fine. The third one. And fourth one does not have anything. So it is ending the loop. Perfect. So execution is happening in the direction of from the schedule to the get all contact records, new account record. It is creating the new account records and looping through the each record. So first time it will go and update the contact. Again, it will come here. It will take the second one and then update it. Again, it will come here. The third one, again, it will update it. Finally, once all are done, it will go and say the last one. Okay, so this is what happened. Now, in the same situation, what I need is I wanted to post a charter. That means once the details are updated, once the records are updated here, assume that once the records are updated, we have a charter here. In this charter, I wanted to post saying that scheduled lightning flow is updated the contact records. I wanted to add a post here. So that through the lightning only I wanted to add. Through the lightning only I wanted to add. Now let's see how can we add the new post. Yeah.
Swapna, I have a doubt. See, usually whenever we write code, we always say that we should never write a DML statement within the for loop, right? We usually bulkify our this one DMLs.
So in that case, here also what you can do is you can take out this update contact here. From here, you can add an update contact here. But here you need to add an assignment.
Okay. Can you
Like
please
in
show
the
that how we can do
code, how we do it is list of account ACC list equal to new list of account. So what I'll do is whatever the contacts or accounts I'm creating it in the ACC list, I'm adding the each record. Once I'm done with the for loop, so what I'll do is I'll update the ACC list. Similarly, here also, instead of doing the update here, what you can do is update outside and assignment can be done inside. So we have another option is called assignment. So through that, you can do it.
Okay.
So same way I wanted to update the charter here. So would like to post the charter here. So what I'll do is there is a difference posting the charter here inside the for loop and outside the for loop, because if I add a inside the for loop, for each update it is going to post the message into the charter. Now what you can do, let me show you that. So if I add a charter post, how can I add a charter post? From the lightning flow, we have a action. So go to the action. In the action, we have something called post charter, post to charter. And let's say that this is a scheduled charter. Description in the real time, it is mandatory that you have to specify the description. Message, let's say that scheduled flow has been completed. Scheduled flow has been completed. Who is the targeted user? Targeted user is the whatever this user is, their logged in user. So what I'll do, I'll go to the user ID. And click on done. Also, I'll add another charter post outside, click on action. Post to charter. Let's say this is final charter. And message, all the updates are completed. This is the final one, and user ID. The current user, I'm posting the chat. Done. Now click on a save. Now this time, instead of a rollback, that's okay. Instead of rollback, I'll not be rollbacking it. Okay, that means I wanted to update the records here. Click on run. Now it is executed. See, every time it is posted here, and finally it is posted the final charter. Let's go and refresh. Is the contact list is updated? It updated all the records. Right here it is. Scheduled flow has been completed. Scheduled flow has been completed. Scheduled flow has been completed. All the updates are completed. For whom it is posting the charter? For this user ID, it is posting the charter. Any questions on this flow?
Ma'am, at the starting, like you have scheduled something, right? Like I didn't understand, like why did you schedule that?
Okay, so I wanted to take a scenario. Okay, the scenario which we wanted to do it through the scheduled flow. Now we have not scheduled yet. Where is it? I have not scheduled yet. I have
Okay,
just
okay.
given a time right now. It is not yet scheduled. If you go to the job, if you go to the scheduled job, you will not see that there is a something is scheduled.
You just have taken that.
Yeah, I just ran the debug without rollback so that it updated the records there. But usually in the real time, we will not be doing that. We will not be updating our own records like that. We will not be doing it. So every time in the real time, whenever we are running the debug, it has to be always rollback. The option should be enabled. For now, for testing purpose, Chatterpost testing purpose, I did not select the rollback because I wanted to see the Chatterposter.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the scheduled job here, now scheduled job does not tell you that you have scheduled it. You have scheduled the job. I have not scheduled the flow yet. I have just given the details. I have just given the details here, but I have not scheduled it. How it is going to schedule it? You can ask me that. You have already given a time here. From yesterday, from tomorrow onwards, 12:30 onwards, it should be starting it. Yes, time has already given, but I did not schedule it. The schedule is going to happen when I activate it. If I activate this flow, now it is activated. Now if I refresh, I can see another scheduled job. I can see another scheduled job here, which says that update account on contact. This is who has scheduled flow. So that means lightning flows, the scheduled triggered flows, only scheduled if you activate it. If you deactivate it, it will be gone from the schedule. Now here you see that update account on contact. If I refresh, now I have deactivated the flow. So once you have deactivated the flow, you will not be able to see in the scheduled job. So that means if you want to schedule a job, you have to activate that particular lightning flow. Otherwise, it will not be scheduled. Otherwise, it will not be scheduled. Here,
Ma'am, what is the rollback? Can I explain again?
rollback in a sense, for example, you are doing the testing of this flow. While you are testing this flow, I do not want to commit anything in the system or a Salesforce org. Go through all the steps, whatever the steps are written here, what are the steps that we have implemented in Lightning Flow, execute all the steps, but do not commit yet into the database. If you want that, select this run flow in the rollback mode. That means execute everything. But once you are done with the completing the flow, roll back the changes. Do not commit to the records. If you do not select this, what will happen? It will commit the changes into the Salesforce. Right now, I have seen the commit. So this is the changes are, it is updated. That means actually I have not ran the schedule flow. I just ran the debug flow, but I have not selected this run flow in rollback mode is a off. That means this is unchecked. And then I clicked on a run. What is happening here? If I uncheck and click on a run, it will execute all the flow and commit to the database. If I select this, it says, if I select this, that means execute everything, do not commit anything into the database. Similar like a test classes, if anybody has worked on.
And that means like if we don't click on activate also like that if
Yes.
we have done for run flow, so it will happen.
Yes, if it is not active also, if you
Okay.
click on a debug, and if you unselect this, that means I just uncheck this. If I click on a run, I'll see the changes that are committed into the system.
Okay.
Is that clear? Moving on to the next one. Any questions before I move on? Okay, homework. Implement a lightning flow and schedule to update the value in account lookup of the opportunity. Similarly, whatever we have done it, same thing, which are the opportunities that does not have an account lookup. So update those lookup, take any existing account and update the account lookup in the opportunity post the charter. Second one, implement a scheduled lightning flow to update the case status to working, the one which were created in the last month. What are the last month it is created? Those records needs to be changed. The status should be changed to the working. How can you check the last month or a current month? In the flow, we have something called flow.current date. Flow.current date. From this, you can able to identify the current, what are the month or a last month current date, whatever is there, you can identify it. So we have something here. Now, if I open this, now we have a something called dollar flow. Dollar flow. In this dollar flow, you can add a current date, right? Current month, whatever is there. It's not showing here. Edit element. Flow. Now flow dot current date time, fault message, any message you wanted to give, current stage, right? Current record, everything you have. So you can get the current date minus, you can give it 30. That means today back 30 days. Implement a lightning flow to update the lead account ID where the account ID is null. And loop through the each lead record and then update the account ID in the lead. On the lead, we do not have an account. Do we have an account on the lead? Lead does not have account, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this does not have the account. Okay. The third one, you can ignore it. What are the third one is there? This you can ignore it. But first two are valid. And the next one is a implement a flow to get all opportunities where amount is greater than, based on your org, whatever the amount is in between, take that. Okay. So here 1,90,000, then update the stage equal to close to own. So how you will implement which lightning flow you will take it for this?
Record ticket flow.
We are not updating anything. I'm getting all the opportunities where the amount is greater than this amount. Then we are updating the stage.
Either screen or schedule.
Screen we can take.
Screen, why we need a screen here?
Screen or schedule.
We are not adding or showing anything here data. We are not creating any record also. It's a schedule. Through the scheduled record, you have to execute this. And the next one is implement a flow to get the count of product for each opportunity. So how you will get this count of product? In the opportunity, we have a products. If you go to the opportunities, if you open any opportunity, each opportunity might have a products or might not have a products. But we need to find out what is the count of this product for each opportunity. And update that count here. So create a one field here, product count. So create a field here, product count. Product count. So get the all the count here from this and update whatever the count is here. If it is a 0, by default, it should show 0. If it is a 1, it should show 1. Next. Next one is we are going to see the platform event, which is important. Let's understand the platform event trigger. Platform event trigger, this one. So far we have seen the screen flow, record trigger flow, schedule trigger flow. The next one is a platform event trigger flow. So platform event trigger flow. Before going to platform event trigger flow, what is platform event? What is platform event? What is the purpose of platform event? So platform event is event-based communication provided by the Salesforce. It's a event-based communication provided by the Salesforce, kind of a integration. It is kind of a integration. So platform event is, by using this platform event, we can define the data to be delivered in a custom notification. By using the platform event, we can define the data to be delivered in the custom notification. And platform events are similar like a Salesforce object. If I have to create a Salesforce object, I'll go to the object manager and I'll click on a button called create object. Similarly, platform event is also similar like a Salesforce object. So you have to create an object for platform event. You have to create an object for platform event. But only the difference between the platform event and the Salesforce object is, whenever we create an object, I can see the UI. That means I can see the object here. So for example, I have created the object called candidates. When I created the object called candidates, I can see the object list of here and clicking on new, the page layout is visible, everything I can see. User can view the object, but whereas platform event, we cannot see. No UI view. we cannot see what are the object, how it looks like, UI and no UI view. There is nothing called no UI view and no page layout. We cannot create any page layout. UI and page layout, nothing will be there for the platform event. That means we cannot see the platform event through the UI, which is not possible. But if you want to create a platform event, same steps, whatever we are doing it for the Salesforce object. Similar way, we have to create a platform event. Though we do not have a UI, developer has it. Developer will be able to publish, subscribe. Publish is nothing but you are publishing the article or you are publishing the things. Subscribe means you are subscribing the data. You are subscribing the data within this. So publish means sending it. Subscribe is nothing but receiving it. So publish and subscribe can be done by the developer for the platform event. The platform event through the flow or a Apex or a API. There are different ways you can publish the platform event. So developer has the option to publish and subscribe the platform events. So once the developer publish, it will be available in queue for 72 hours. For 72 hours. That means what is happening once the developer publish it, what is happening? What is happening once the developer publish it? Now there is something called as a bus. There is something called as a, in platform, we have a, here it says event bus, event bus. Now let's assume that the developer is publishing it. The developer is publishing it. Possible that developer is publishing through the flow. Developer is publishing through the flow, or developer is publishing through the Apex, or developer is publishing through the API. Can be done through the multiple. This might be the flow, this might be the Apex, and this might be the API. So whenever they are doing the publish like this, right, that means an event is produced. This is called event producer. And what they are doing is basically event message. Event message. So whenever the user is published here, so it can stay in the event bus up to the 72 hours. After the 72 hours, it will be deleted automatically. Now, once it is published, then now the consumer is nothing but a customer. Now, customer or a consumer will subscribe it. That means they will accept it. They will accept it. That means, for example, I'm sending the data to the third-party system. I'm sending the data to the consumer. I'm sending the data to the third-party system. Or let's say that I have this is a Heroku system. So this is Heroku or a MuleSoft. Let's take it as a MuleSoft. Or I have a different, like a Oracle, ERDP. Different systems are there. This is Oracle, ERP, or SAP, whatever is. So there are different systems are there. Now we have a Salesforce system who is sitting here. We have a Salesforce here. Salesforce. Now in between this, there is a thin layer. In between this, there is a thin layer. Now from the Salesforce, I'm publishing the event, right? Whenever I publish the event, if these systems are busy, they are not able to subscribe the event. They are busy. These systems are busy with something else. So if the systems are busy here, it will wait in the queue or in the bus till 72 hours because the others, whoever is the consumer or whoever is the system is there, that they are saying that they are busy right now. So once the resource is available from their end, it will go and get the data and it will try to subscribe the data in this. So that means I'm publishing the event from the Salesforce and MuleSoft is subscribing it. So in this case, MuleSoft is a consumer or a subscriber. Here I'm doing the publish. Here I'm doing the publish. Now, so that is what publish and subscriber, that's how it is going to happen. It's not only with the system, within the single org also. Within the single org also we can do it. Within the single org means in the same Salesforce. In the same Salesforce org, I have a Apex here. From the Apex, I'm doing the publish. From the Apex, I'm doing the publish. So once it is published, in the Salesforce, I have a lightning flow. In the Salesforce, I have a lightning flow. Whenever the Apex is publishing it, lightning flow is listen. That means it is subscribing. Lightning flow is going to listen the whatever the event that is happening by the Apex, and then it will perform whatever the action needs to be happen in the lightning flow, it will perform it. So that means as soon as the lightning flow listen the event, that means somebody is published the event. So as soon as they publish the event, if lightning flow is listening that event, it will hit that flow and it will start executing that flow. Now, when should we publish it? Is there any criteria? When should we publish it? So there are two ways to publish the records or whatever is there. So first one is publish after commit. That means I'm doing some action. Second one is publish immediately. So publish after commit is nothing but I'm doing an action on the record. Assume that I'm saving a record. That means I'm performing a on-click action. On-click action. Whenever the action is done, what will happen? It will hit the database and the transaction is committed successfully. Without any error, if I see the transaction is committed with the successful, there is no errors, then the publish, the event is going to publish. If there is any error, the publish event is not going to happen. That means once the action is done and the transaction is committed successfully in the database, then I can publish the event. This is publish after commit. The next one is publish immediately. Publish immediately is same example. Action is happened here. That means on-click action is happened. But in the transaction side, I don't know whether it is committed or a failure. I doesn't care. Whether it is a failure also, I'll publish it. Whether it is a successful also, I'll publish it. Now, in this case, what will happen is if I have an error, the error details will go to the MuleSoft, which is not right. Right? So sometimes you have a scenarios that we do not want to listen the errors. We just wanted to see the successful records that are created in the Salesforce. And few scenarios you will have it. MuleSoft says that even if it is an error, we wanted to know what is the error that happened in the Salesforce whenever you are performing an action on the Salesforce record. So these are the two different: publish after commit, publish immediately. Now, navigation steps for the platform event is you have to go to the setup, integration, platform event. Now let's go ahead. Directly search here, publish. or it will be there in the integration. Platform event. So it is there in the integration platform event. So once you click on the platform event, you will see this. Use platform event to define the data to be delivered in the custom notification. And initially you will not see any platform event. Now click on a new platform event. Once you click on a new platform event, it will ask you the object name. Similar like a Salesforce custom object, it will ask you to enter the details. Now it is saying here, use platform event to define the data to be delivered in custom notification. Now, high volume platform event hourly published allocation is a 50,000. High volume platform event and change event daily delivery application is 10,000. So those are the kind of allocation limits. Now click on this new platform event. So when you click on a new platform event, it will ask you to enter the details. So similar like a Salesforce custom object. Now I'm creating the notification event. So plural label is notification events. And here is the publish behavior. Publish after commit or immediately. So that's what we have discussed. There are two behaviors are there. One is after commit, immediately. So once I click on a after commit, that means once it is successfully saved into the database, then only I wanted to fire this event. Then only I wanted to fire this event. Now in deployment, deployed. So I'll go for a deployed, click on a save. Now once this platform event is created, we have a different fields that we can create it. We have a different fields that we can create it. Checkbox, date, date time, number, text, text area. These are the 6 options. Only 6 fields we can create it. Only 6 fields we can create it. We cannot create a lookup relationship or nothing else. So this is how once it is created, you will see the platform event. Now observe this, the API name of the platform event is ending with __e. Whereas custom object is __c. So whenever you see in the code, wherever it says __e is nothing but it is a platform event. Platform event object, platform event API name is always ends with __e. Now let's go ahead and create a fields. Custom fields. Now we have a 6 options here. Checkbox, date, date time, number, text, text area along. So let's create a text area along. Now I wanted to create a message. Message and length, that should be fine. Visible 3. So similar like how we create a fields in the Salesforce custom object, same. Now I'm creating the another one. Source, I'll create it. Click on next. Let's say source. Length, I'm going to give 255. Click on save. Now I have created the 2 fields. Fields is __c, but platform event name is __e. Now these are the 2 fields that I have created. Now what I'll do is this. Whenever the platform event is published by somebody has to publish this event. Now we are done with creating the object. We are done with creating the platform event. We are done with creating the platform event. Once it is done creating the platform event, somebody has to fire it. Somebody has to fire here. Now who will be firing it? Anybody can fire. That means Apex can fire. MuleSoft, whenever MuleSoft is sending it, or Salesforce, within the Salesforce, through the Apex or through the API, through the Lightning flows, anybody can fire. That means anybody can publish the event. Publish the event is nothing but what? Creating a record in this platform event, creating a record in this platform. Now, how can I create it? A similar way that how we create a Salesforce object. So how do we create a Salesforce object? If I wanted to create a Salesforce object, for example, I wanted to create a Salesforce object. So account ACC equal to new account and ACC dot name equal to, I'll give a test and then we will insert it, right? Insert ACC. This is what we do. Same way, platform event also, we can create a record. So how can I create it? This is my API name. Take that API name, event equal to new notification event. Now, inside the event, I have two fields are there. I have two fields are there. One is a message. Message equal to, I can give, this is sample message from developer. Now, similarly, event dot, I can go for a source. Source equal to, I can say that Salesforce Apex. Now, once we are done, then instead of an insert, what you have to do is you have to use the event bus dot publish, because I'm publishing. What I'm publishing it, the top, whatever I have initialized it, this event, whatever I have initialized it, that I'm publishing it. So this is what, this is how we create a platform event in the Salesforce. This is how we create a platform event in Salesforce. So by using this, what I'm doing it, I'm publishing the event with where I'm doing it in the event bus dot publish event. Now, if I take a use case, post a charter message, Heroku integration to the group as soon as the platform event is fired. As soon as the platform event is fired, that means as soon as the publish is done, I wanted to send a message to the group called Heroku integration. This is a group in the charter. So the first thing is that I need to create a group in the charter. So we have a here in the charter. If you go, there is a recent groups. Click on this recent group. Now it will ask you to enter the group details. Now, in this scenario, we have a Heroku integration. So let me create Heroku integration. Now, this is similar like a WhatsApp group. That means I'm creating a group here. Click on a save. The required field is missing. Access type. Do you want this group to be accessed private or a public? This group needs to be accessed private or public, similar like a WhatsApp group. Do you want that group to be public or do you want that group to be the private? So let's give it as a private. That means only it is a private members. If it is a public, that means everybody can see. Click on save. So this is the image. Let's go with that standard image. Now, once the group is created, do you want to add any members into this? Let's assume I wanted to add this person, I wanted to add this person, and I wanted to add this. Now, these are the members that I wanted to add into the group. Now done. Now I'm done with creating the group in the charter. Now this is a group, Heroku integration. right? This is the group. This is a charter group. I have created a charter group. Description, information group, email, owner. Now this is the group that I have created. Now, whenever the publish event is happening, somebody published the event, I wanted to send a message to this group, Heroku integration group. Send a message to the Heroku integration group. Now, how can we do that? Let's go ahead and implement the lightning flow. So what I'll be doing is, I'll divide the work here. Publish is going to happen through the Apex. So that means Apex is going to publish. Apex is going to publish it. Lightning flow is going to post a message into the charter group. To charter group. Right, so I'm dividing it here. So let's go ahead and implement the lightning flow. For the lightning flow, let's go with the platform event trigger. Now let's go to the platform event trigger, scheduled flow builder. Now I'll go with platform event trigger, flow, click on a create. Now choose the platform event. The platform event is that we have on the notification. We have a notification event. I'm going to fire this flow on the object on the platform event called notification event. Now click on done. Now in the notification event, once it is published, I wanted to hear, then I wanted to send a message. Send a message. So action, publish event. What is happening?
Publish event or post to charter?
Post to charter. Post to charter. Now, let's give the name to it. Let's say Heroku integration. Heroku integration. Message. What are the data that is coming through the notification event? That means record dot. Let's take a message. I wanted to post that message also. Now here I'll be taking the source. Message source. Now who is the targeted ID here? Target name is the group, Heroku integration group. Heroku integration group. So this is the group name. Now here is the problem. Usually this happens in the real time. If you developers put a direct ID here. Direct ID, you can give a direct ID, that's totally fine. But when you are in the developer edition, you are giving a ID here. But in the real time, placing a ID here is not safe. Placing a ID here is not safe because right now you will test it. Right now it is working fine. So let's go ahead and test it. Now what I'll do, I'll publish the event from the Apex. Copy this. Let's go to the developer console. From the anonymous window, did I activate it flow? Click on save. platform event. Click on save. Now let's activate it. Now I have activated. Now I'll go to the anonymous window. Let me execute this notification event.message, event.source, event.eventbus.publish. Now click on execute. The execution is done. Now let's go ahead and see. I did not test the platform event, but it should be working. Yes. So this is a sample message from developer Salesforce Apex. That means publishing is happening through the Apex. Here, Apex is doing it. Apex is publishing the event in the Salesforce. We have a lightning flow. Lightning flow is as soon as the event is fired, the lightning flow is hearing the publish. Lightning flow is hearing the platform event, then it is performing as per it. Now this is working totally fine, but can you push this lightning flow to the production? You cannot, because whatever we have implemented, it's not a best practice. Whatever we have implemented, it's not a best practice or not a best way to do it. The reason is we did a hard coding there. When we do the hard coding here, this ID keeps changing whenever you push this lightning flow to the another sandbox. This sandbox has this ID, but as soon as you push this lightning flow to another sandbox or a production, there the ID is going to be the different. There the ID is going to be the different. Now we should not be mentioning the ID in either in the code directly or in the lightning flow or in the process builder, wherever you are doing the business logic or wherever you are working on the logic wise. Do not use the IDs directly into the flows or Apex or wherever you are doing the coding. Do not use it. It's not a right way, because once this you push to the production, this will not work. This flow will not work because this ID does not exist in that production. Production has a different ID there. Now, how can the admin can handle? So once it is pushed to the production, developer work is done. They will say that we are done with the pushing the data, but nothing is working. Who needs to identify? Admin needs to research, debug, and identify it. Now, how can the admin team change this ID? How they can understand what is this ID, right? So in case if they have understood, they have to make a changes to the ID related to that particular production ID. Again, from the production, you are pushing it to another sandbox. Whatever this flow is there also it will not work. That means every time you need to modify this ID. That means every time you will be creating a new version here, new version. Lightning flow is it is fine because it is accessible, you can edit it. Same thing if you are doing it through the Apex, nobody can edit the Apex classes in the production. You cannot edit this in the Apex classes. So never use the ID directly here. We have a different concept called custom label. Custom label. In the custom labels are basically where you can add a custom text or a values that where we can handle or manage through by the admin team. So the custom labels can enter this data, what are the hard-coded values are there, put that data into the custom label. These custom labels can be called in the Apex classes or a Lightning component, Lightning Web component, Visualforce, flows, process builder, wherever you wanted to call, you can call the custom label. right? Once it is moved to the production, nobody need to touch Apex classes or Lightning component or LWC. They just need to go to the custom label and modify the ID, which is a totally fine. That is a configurable, right? Custom labels can be used to have the ability to change the text values by admin without touching the code, which can be manageable. And we can create up to 5,000 custom label per organization. And each custom label can be up to 1,000 characters length. So it's a 5,000 is a lot. 5,000 is a lot. You can create it. Maximum we will create custom labels. Max it will go to the 50 or 100, not more than that. Max is a 50 if it is a very big project. Okay, 5,000 is very huge that Salesforce has given. Now, how to create a custom label? Let's go ahead. Now we have a here search here custom label. So we have an option here within the user interface custom label. Now just click on here new custom label. Now let's say Hiraku group ID. What is the Hiraku group ID? This is the group ID. Go to the custom label, place it here, click on save. That's it. Now what I can do is I can refer this custom label API into this. Now let me refresh. Now click on this edit element. Now instead of the hard coded, what I'll do is I'll use the global variable called label. Inside that I have a Hiraku group ID. Now click on done. Perfect. Now in case while posting it, if there are any issues, add fault path, and then what you can do, you can add another action here. Let's say post to charter, retry, notification. Now message, notification event dot message. I'll just take a message and here label group ID. Click on done. Click on save. This is a version 2 because I created a new one here. Click on activate it. If I fire again from the Apex, it is going to again post a message into the Hiraku group. Now the assignment, implement a lightning flow when a employee onboarding record is created. So basically here you need to create another object called employee onboarding. So inside that employee onboarding, just create two fields. And whenever this employee onboard is, what are the notification event is there? I have created a notification event here, right? Where is it? Let's go to the platform event. Now here I have created a notification event. You need to create another platform event that is called employee onboarding. Inside that, just create a message and source. That should be totally fine. Now, once it is created, you need to publish that means through the Apex, you need to publish platform event by using the event bus dot publish and then pass that event details. Once it is published to the Apex, post a charter to the group called onboarding. It is similar like whenever you join a company, there is a onboarding email that you will get it, right? So that means as soon as the employee onboarding platform event is hit, then I need to post onboarding onto the charter group. That means it is just going to give you that new person has started, joined today, kind of that. Now, you can also publish the event through the workbench. Through the workbench also you can publish the event. How? Let me show you that. Log in with Salesforce, Samskar IT2. Yes, this is the one. Now go to the utilities, REST Explorer, get. Now here you need to add S objects / what is the event name, publish notification event. Let's copy that API name. Copy the API name. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to post it. That means I'm going to publish it. Now here I'll add the JSON format. Here I'll add the JSON format. How I'm going to add a JSON format? JSON format is always in the key value pair. Always in the key value pair. So this side I'll be having a key colon value. Colon value. Now, the first one is I'm going to add message. This is sample message from developer from workbench. And then I have a source. Sales workbench. Okay, these are the two data that I need to pirate. Now this is the JSON structure I need to add it. Now let me check my platform event is active or not. So my platform event is active. Now let's go to the workbench. Now this is the one. Okay. So now let's go to execute. What is happening? It's giving error code. This request resource does not exist. S objects. Execute. Now it is created. Okay, success is true. And this is the ID. It sent, it published the event. Event is published. Now let's go ahead and see the message. There it is. Now I see that this is a sample message from workbench, right? It is fired. That means right now I'm doing it, I'm publishing through the workbench. Through the workbench, I'm publishing it. Now Lightning Flow is listening to the platform event. Lightning flow is listening to the platform event. That means whenever the platform event is message is sending, that means whenever the platform event is triggering it, immediately the flow gets executed because this flow is platform event triggered flow. Anybody is hitting the platform event, this particular event, notification event. Whenever somebody is hitting this event, immediately the flow starts executing it. Same thing, you need to implement the assignment. In your case, instead of a notification event, you have to use the employee onboarding, and charter groups, you have to create a onboarding charter group. That's all for today. Any questions on the platform event?
No, Asokna, somehow I'm getting the service not found. I think even you got the same error, right?
Where it is?
In when I try to post via Workbench.
Use the small letters here instead of a capital.
Okay. And one more thing, we can instead of Workbench, we can use Postman as well, right?
Yes, Postman, Workbench, anonymous window. What are the possibilities are there?
So if it is a Postman, then what will be the API? What will the starting API, HTTP : what it will be?
You can use the same one. So probably we can cover tomorrow. Okay, so in the
Okay.
Postman, you need to add the URL, the Salesforce URL, and then attach with the S object / notification event.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to ask. Now see, when it comes to coding, okay, we have Git, right, where we maintain the repository and all version control.
Mhm.
Now, I feel that even for flows, we need to maintain some versioning, right? Who made these changes, and we can revert back to the older version. How do we do that
We have a Git for the same.
for the flow as well?
Everything, whatever we are doing in the Salesforce, everything sits into the Git.
Okay. So you mean the metadata?
Yeah, metadata, complete metadata will be there. In case if there is something wrong, then we can revert back. But here also in the Lightning flows, you will see different versions are there. Okay, if you go to the flow builder here, flows, let me go back to the flows. So here flows, and just click on here, anything that you wanted to see, for example, platform event. So click on this arrow mark, click on view details and the versions. Now you can see here, what are the previous versions are there. These versions are available. In case if you want to activate the previous version, you can activate it. So once you activate the previous version, what will happen? What are the current version is there that will be deactivated.
No, but whenever I deploy my flow to the production, okay, all the versions get deployed, or only the activated version gets deployed?
Only the activated one.
Okay, so if I want to deactivate it and add another one, then from my org or whatever sandbox, I have to activate and then deploy it once again, right?
So that means in the flow, what we do is we will first debug and cross verify, okay, my flow is working fine. Whenever I feel flow is working fine, then I'll activate this flow. Once it is activated, if the tester says that it is working fine, then I'll push the changes to the production. Now tomorrow client will come back. When that client will come back, I'll create a new version. I'll assume that version 3, I'm creating it. Now I'm activating the version 3. So when I activate the version 3, previous one is already there in the production. Now I'm pushing this, the latest one in the production. After pushing this latest one to the production, what I need to do is, what are the previous one is there? I need to deactivate it manually and activate the latest one. So in this case, what will happen? Previous one is also available in the production. New one is also available in the production. Similarly, when I am deploying the production, we have something called Git, which is a CI/CD process. In the CI/CD process also, from the starting, whenever we feel that it is working fine, whenever we say that, okay, it is tested by the tester and everything is working fine, then we will push the changes to the production through the Git. So whenever we do that, definitely there is a record, the tracking will be available into the Git.
Okay. Swapna, you'll be covering this Git a little bit, at least on a broader version, like
Yes,
how we will deploy the thing.
I'll be covering the Git, Jira, Confluence.
Oh,
These things
okay,
I'll be
okay.
covering it because those are required for the real time.
Yes, yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, so what did we cover so far?
We learned the use cases,
Schedule trick.
platform event.
Schedule trigger, platform event trigger, and also the platform event, how to create a platform event, and custom labels. These are the trial heads. I'll ping you these trial heads.
Swapna,
Yep.
see, you showed how to create custom labels, right? So
Yeah.
custom label is like a configuration file, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah. So whenever we deploy, we do not deploy the custom labels, correct? We have to create them on the production. Am I right?
we deployed.
Okay, and then we edit it on the production.